So welcome all of you to another day, another week of seeing the Christ and God everywhere and in everything. That's all we're here to do. It's so simple, if we would only allow it to be that simple. It takes practice, yes, but this type of practice is the most wonderful practice there is. Because when you spend time, even a short period of time, just looking at everyone that you see and knowing, not believing, but knowing that this in front of me right now, no matter what it looks like, no matter what they're saying or how they're acting, this is the perfect extension of the love and the loveliness of God. Yes, they're maybe wearing a disguise. Yes, maybe they seem to be acting whatever way they're acting, but my willingness to see through that disguise, my willingness to see them for who they really are, is what allows me to know who I am. To know the I am, the eternal presence that's within me. It allows me to be able to look through all the disguises that I wear, because that's all my separate identity is, my ego self is. They're disguises, they're costumes. Here today, gone tomorrow. So my willingness and my desire, because we have to want this too, my desire to look at each one of you and every person who passes me today and to see them as God sees them, allows me to know myself, to know the I am presence within me. So speaking of that I am presence, we're going to return, for a while, maybe it's a few days, maybe it's a few weeks, we'll see. We're going to return to a set of lessons that we've shared before, but the thing about lessons of truth is you could hear them or read them over and over, and every time they're going to go deeper. Every time they're going to dive to the depths of your soul, of your heart, in ways that you couldn't have imagined before. So we're going to be returning to a book that I'm working on, a set of lessons called The Impersonal Light. And we'll just go through these lessons and see what comes of it. So, let's begin. I'll just begin to read some of this, and then we'll open it up and see where it takes us. So I'm just going to invite you to take a deep breath, and if you want to keep your eyes open or closed, but just drink this in. Drink this in as if this is the finest glass of wine, the finest and brightest elixir that you've ever tasted. Let it do its magic. I am here to teach you how to see everything. I am here to teach you how to see everything. To see everything. It doesn't mean everything you see with your eyes or experience with your senses, but literally everything. I am here to show you everything that is, and to help you perceive nothing else. Nothing else. That means being able to ignore what is not. And anything that is not shared by both of our minds is not. Once again, anything that is not shared wholly is not true. And that is because there's nothing outside the mind we share. How beautiful. The first step to achieving this is to change your attitude toward all the things you believe are not as they should be. Ooh, that's a big one. To change your attitude toward all the things you believe are not as they should be. If you believe that something is not as it should be, then you've admitted the possibility that there is a difference between what is and what isn't. And here's the key. What isn't doesn't exist. And that's the only thing that you need to know. What isn't doesn't exist. And what is eternal, unchangeable, forever whole. It can never be separated from the isness of God, which is the same isness that you are and that I am. This is the Trinity, the three in one. Do you see that? That which is God is what you are, forever contained within what I am. Anything that seems to interrupt that oneness is nothing. Anything that seems to interrupt the oneness that I am and that we share is nothing. Until now, you've been attracted to nothing. And so nothing is what you've received. The reason for this is simple. In trying to escape from everything, you seemed to have created a separate alternative. But there is no alternative to everything. Do you see how simple this is? There is no alternative to everything. And you can try as much as you want to create an alternative to everything, but you will fail every time until the moment comes when you just relax and accept it, that there is no alternative to everything. Once again, just because something seems to have happened doesn't mean that it has. If something happens to you in a dream, and you wake up and try and hold someone responsible for what happened in your dream, you'll be mistaken every single time. Every time. You seem to be isolated and alone, but you're not. You seem vulnerable to attack and ready to become sick and die at any moment. Laughable. None of these things are true, and the instant you realize the impossibility of those possibilities will be the same moment you rest where I am. So take a deep breath. Rest where I am. Isn't that what you want? Why have you sought to rest where I am not? Once again, why have you sought to rest where I am not? The answer is so obvious, it hardly needs to be stated. You sought refuge where I am not because you experienced guilt for trying to make the impossible seem possible. But what is impossible has no real effect, so nothing real has ever changed. The only thing that is possible is that which has always been true, and you have always been true because I am one with you. Doesn't that make you feel better to know? Once again, just rest where I am, and you will know that we are the same. Just rest where I am, not where I am not. The I am, that presence, that light within you is calling you every moment. If you would but have ears to hear, it's beckoning you. If you would but have eyes to see. And this is the moment that you've chosen. You wouldn't be here right now if that were not true. This is the moment. What other moment would there be but this? Rest where I am. Take a deep breath. And let this just sort of wash over you now. And now I'm going to turn it over to our dear sister Victoria and see what she has to share about this.
Well, good morning, James.
Good morning, love.
Happy Monday. Well, I have a good example. And so yesterday morning, Jenny walked in my room and said, Vicky, did you see this? And I looked out my door and the roof had fallen in.
Uh-oh. I'm glad you're laughing.
I am. But the gift is, and I thank everybody here and you, my dear brother, I laughed right away. I
It's
looked at it
fall,
and I said,
it's falling right now, as a matter of fact.
oh, they are? They're good. Oh, it's falling more right now. Oh, good. But it was so funny because who knows what it's for? It's only for the love of God. So maybe it was just for me to laugh at it and not get scared. Last week, the house was falling down. We had a mason fix the outside bricks. Who knows? Who knows? And this week, the roof's falling in. But what I want to pick up on is one lovely line you said, that guilt is making what is impossible, separation of any kind, seem possible. It is that simple. Deborah always remembers a line, Deborah Gold, if you're here, Deborah, thank you for this. What isn't love isn't. That's it.
It's so
And
simple.
right. And then the practical way to get there, to get to what really is, which is always going to be grace giving of itself in some way, through our own hands, through our own eyes, through our brother's hands, through the sun, through the air, is to step out of the way. That's our job. So when we say rest, it isn't this putting your head in the sand kind of rest. It's the rest to see the wonders of light at work through us and through what seems impossible, whether it's roofs falling, bodies seeming to die, whatever it is. If it isn't the love of the Lord, it isn't. It is that simple. And then the only thing I have to remember when I jump back or get upset is let me stay out of the way and see how the light is waiting to be revealed in this person, in this brother, in this situation, in whatever. Anyway, I don't want any more guilt trying to make what's impossible possible. I'm just willing to rest completely. And rest is it's the most luxurious way of staying out of the way. Thank you.
I just love the lesson of being able to laugh at things that we would normally think like, oh my God, the roof is falling in. Holy mackerel. But instead of going there, like, what are we going to do? Ha ha ha. I don't know. I'm just going to get out of the way and let it happen. But in one way or another, this is the proof that God is. It's like St. Francis saying, God is, and that's enough. That's all I need to know. And the solution will come to every seeming problem. The solution will come to every seeming difficulty if I just laugh and get the hell out of the way. Maybe that's the key. Get the hell out of the way. And let heaven rush in. Thank you, Vicky. That was brilliant. Teddy, you want to share anything?
Well, the truth is, it is like that old joke they used to say, the horse got out of the barn and the chickens left the coop and, the squirrels ate the eggs and then the roof caved in, it's like the culmination of everything falling apart all at once and then the roof caved in. And it really does feel like there's a reset going on. Like everything's going to be gone and something brand new is going to happen. And then the roof caved in. And so we didn't need that anymore, And as I sit here, it's still falling. It's just the pieces are dripping off.
Was that the noise we just heard?
Luckily, we put tarps down, so we didn't have to clean it as much as we did. And then the roof caved in. It's just a big reset happening. And, hey, who needs it's like truth will dawn upon you of itself. And it's coming through the ceiling right now.
But what is not needs to be revealed and fall apart. And what we've made of this seeming world is not. And yes, it must dissolve into what is and what forever will be. And that forever will be is love. And if the roof of this world needs to cave in, let it be so. Amen.
It's based on desire too. Like readiness is based on desire.
Amen.
All you can do is desire the truth and desire knowledge.
It's so funny that we're getting to witness this with
right
you and
now.
actually hear it happening.
All you can do is desire knowledge and desire truth and it will dawn upon you of itself, when you are ready for it to dawn. And this is a new dawn.
What a joyous lesson. And to have the example of both of you just sitting there laughing as we can literally hear the roof coming in. And that's all we're called to do in the world today. I mean, excuse my French, but the shit's hitting the fan right now. And okay, well, if that's what needs to happen, I'm willing to go there. If that's what needs to happen to reveal heaven all around us and to see the Christ presence everywhere we look, fine. Let the roof cave in. I'll take it. Thank you, Teddy. That was beautiful. Let's hop on over to Namaste and see what's happening there. Good morning, everyone. Oh, got a full crowd today. Hi. Let's begin with Christina. Christina, you want to share anything?
Good morning. Good morning.
We need new batteries.
No. Let's all take a nice deep breath and just reset again.
This one's off. It's just off. Just turn that thing on. It's off. Another technical advisor.
So we have such a gift being here, not just in this Namaste community on this physical piece of property, but also as a community here together many mornings of the week. And one of the things that I keep noticing that is heard is a desire to recognize truth and stop getting caught all along the way. And one of the things that can be so helpful is to recognize that there is no me and there is no you. The incessant mind of me is the incessant mind of you. The still mind of me is the still mind of you. And if I can remember this, I begin to dissolve the identity with the mind that is incessant, that hasn't reached where it's trying to go, or the identity with the still mind that thinks it's different than the incessant mind surrounding me. We are all one mind. We are all one consciousness. And whether we're laughing or we're crying or we're caught or we're free, there is only one. So today, if I find myself caught, if we find ourselves caught, may we just rest and remember this incessant mind in me is also the still mind in me. Everything exists here. And where I choose to give my attention becomes my experience. If I can allow that unraveling of identification, even just there, resistance falls away and freedom is available.
Yeah.
This is us. This is we. This is not you. This is not me. May we recognize that this day, not through our eyes, not by trying, but just allowing a recognition of one. Thank you.
Thank you, dear one. You know, yesterday in the Sunday session, we talked about a passionate longing for what is. It has to be passionate, and a complete dismissal of what isn't. And that's what we're sharing here today. The willingness just to swish it away. It's not. Therefore, it is not need to be entertained or controlled or figured out or worked on or improved. And Teddy a moment ago and a couple of others were typing in, the portal is open. When the roof starts to fall in, all that means is that the portal is open. And that's good news. You're holding up a book, We Are the One. Yeah, We Are One. Yeah, that's the children's book that you published. Yeah. The portal is open, so don't worry about it. Laugh at it as Vicky and Teddy were doing. They're literally sitting there while we hear the roof coming in, and they're laughing at it. Couldn't we do the same thing with the roof falling in on this ridiculous world that we've created, knowing that what is always true and what isn't is never true? To have that confidence? I say yes. And I know that you join me in that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And let's just become the living, vibratory, resonating example of that holy yes, that holy instant. Joy.
Oh,
Hello.
I like surprising you. Joy. Spread your joy.
Here it is. Hi, everyone. Such a rich morning. I'm so enjoying this. Thank you all.
Could you, Ravi, could you move the other microphone closer to her?
Yeah.
Here. Thank you.
There you go. Is that better?
It's much better.
Okay. So yeah, at the very beginning, you were talking about being willing to see the Christ in everybody. Wow, that's such a lesson because as you were saying, the most that I am open to see the Christ in someone, the more I'm open to see the Christ in me. You just can't have it any other way. And I know it's seemingly more easy to see the Christ in some people than other people. I mean, it's so sweet and nice when it's easy for me to see the Christ in someone, and I so love and appreciate it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want to stay there. But also, I think the lesson is to be that willing to see the Christ when somebody is triggering me, when I see something or someone that I don't like, so I can bring that. It's very useful, that experience of the easiness of seeing the Christ in someone that is in my mind so Christ-like, because I can use that and bring it into another situation with another person that that my willingness might not be as high, and it does happen a little bit, a lot. But yeah, and then you were, oh my God, Vicky, wow, she's my role model. I don't have a saint that I'm following. I'm not a huge Jesus follower. I'm a huge Vicky follower. Really, like, if you ask me, okay, what's your goal in life? I just want to be Vicky, like Vicky-like instead of Christ-like, because she embodies the Christ so much. You can tell she's authentic because you see, there's two ways. I mean, sometimes if something happens, you can just spiritual bypass it and say, okay, there's no rule. but if you're feeling triggered, you just need to go through a lesson and just, but she's someone who has done that so many times. Like, she is really taking every experience, like, as we were saying the other day, walking the talk, and just so in the practical, like living the teachings. And to me, that's it. To me, that's it. That's all I want to do. That's my only goal. And to be so open to see that things are falling literally in place each and every time, and there's no other way. So then you can trust. So then you can laugh when you are facing that situation. And here at Namaste, believe me, things happen every day. I mean, we haven't had roofs yet, and I hope we won't. But
because our roofs are brick.
Oh my God! Yes, but and it's like, it's just, it could be anywhere. life itself, spirit is taking you there. And I love that, Jim, you were saying also about this destructive aspect of Holy Spirit, which might sound harsh, but I love it because, as you were saying, you just can't, in order to build something new, you just have to tear it apart first.
Yeah.
And the tearing apart part we might not like, but it's so essential, it's so necessary. And it's for me just to surrender to it completely till the point that I could laugh when the roof is falling on me. So thank you, Vicky. I love you. And I'm so blessed to see you and Teddy every day here in the mornings.
Thank you, Joy. And by the way, we are producing and promoting bracelets and necklaces. I just wanted you all to know this. We're going to put them up on our store. That they all say WWVD. What would Vicky do? That's our little mantra. We walk around the community. Well, I don't know. What would Vicky do? What would Vicky say?
Good work. Good.
Anybody else at Namaste want to share anything?
Yes, I do.
Come on up, Bethel.
As Christine was saying, no, yes, Christina was saying, everything here happens to one, happens to us all, because we are all one. So recently, my daughter has been in a lot of physical pain, and no one can figure out what's wrong with her. And she's been to 4 or 5 different medical doctors. No one can tell why she's in so much physical pain. So I was thinking, well, maybe this is just her dark night of the soul. Maybe this is for her to realize it's not about the physical. It's about the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. And that part of her life, maybe it's not there. So I was doing all this judging and also jumping into it with her, feeling sad for her, feeling upset. And yesterday it dawned on me, this is not just her lesson. This is our lesson. This is our lesson, everyone. And the lesson is, no matter what, I am a child of God, no matter what. And I am part of the one. And the one knows all. The one knows the answer. And so it came to me that my job right now is to hold the high watch for her.
Yeah.
And every time she starts to tell me the things that I used to jump into with her and feel sorry for her and wanting to make it better because I'm her mother, I should be able to make her better. Every time I start to do that, I have to say, no, I am the essence of God, and we are the essence of God. So there is no problem here. And I have to hold the high watch. And I said, my job from now on is to hold the high watch. I will not be sucked into anything. And I said, and so if you start to tell me a sad story, I'm going to stop you and I'm going to remind you of your truth. So she started to say, well, they just can't help me. I said, I don't want you to say those words anymore. They can't help me, because you can help you, and you will be the one who will heal you. No thing, no one outside of you will heal you. And when I'm talking to her, I'm talking to myself too, of course. I know it's not her. I know it's all of us. We all have to know that our truth is within us, no matter what happens, no matter what, if the roof falls in, no matter what, we are the truth, and we are the essence of God. And nothing is going to keep me from that, or her from that either, or you from that. You are the truth.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bethel. That was beautiful. All right, let's pop over to the Zoom room and see if there are a couple of people who would like to share anything. Yes, Tambra, go right ahead.